What if I told you that in just 5 minutes, you could drop your blood pressure without any pills, without any machines, and without even leaving your chair? It sounds almost too good to be true, but today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of your own body and show you 3 incredible techniques that can instantly calm your blood pressure. And the first one is going to surprise you because it's something you've probably walked past every day without even thinking about it. Hello friends, loved ones, and other creatures of YouTube. My name is Dr. Mitch Rice, and today we're diving deep into the forces that push your blood through your body, your blood pressure, and more importantly, how to tame it before it tames you. But before we get to the tricks that can change everything in minutes, we need to understand the battlefield we're about to step onto. Blood pressure isn't just a number on a cuff. It's the relentless force of your heart pumping oxygen-rich blood through a network of arteries to every single organ, every single cell that keeps you alive. The top number, systolic pressure, measures the push when your heart contracts, and the bottom number, diastolic pressure, measures the calm when your heart rests. Both numbers together, they're not just metrics, they're the scorecard of how your body is surviving the invisible battles every second. So, knowing the battlefield, how do you actually lower that pressure instantly? The first technique is deceptively simple yet astonishingly powerful. It's called carotid massage. Now, don't freak out, it sounds fancy, but it's just a tiny tap into the control center of your circulatory system. You take your fingers, glide them down to the side of your neck, feel that gentle pulse, and then just slightly outward you massage. 5-10 seconds, just long enough to trigger a chain reaction you didn't even know existed. Here's where it gets wild. That little spot you just massaged, called the carotid sinus, tells your body, hey, your blood pressure is high. And your body, in response, flips a switch. Your heart rate slows, your arteries relax, and your blood pressure drops all without a single pill. Some like to imagine magical creatures orchestrating this miracle inside. And while that's not literally true, the truth is almost as fascinating. Your body has its own intelligence, its own ways of keeping you alive, and right now, you just woke one of the most potent systems it has. But that's just the beginning, and what comes next might actually make you feel it immediately, because if the carotid massage was the spark, the second technique is the wildfire. It's called the Valsalva maneuver, and it's a bit more interactive, but trust me, it works. You take a deep breath through your nose, pinch your nostrils, and push as if you're trying to blow out not your candles, but a storm inside your chest. For 5 to 10 seconds, you maintain this pressure, and then you release slowly. It sounds strange, maybe even a little funny, but what's happening inside is anything but simple. Blood flow shifts, your heart responds, and suddenly that tension you didn't even realize was building begins to melt. Your blood pressure drops, your body relaxes, and you feel lighter almost instantly. It's like flipping a secret switch in your physiology. And the timing is crucial. Do it wrong or too long, and it can backfire. But do it right, and you tap into a power you didn't know you had. And here's the kicker. Just when you think you've reached the limit of how calm you can feel, there's a third method that takes this relaxation even further. One that Navy SEALs have used to maintain focus under extreme pressure: breathing. Simple, right? But not just any breathing. The technique is called box breathing, and it's deceptively ordinary until you realize the effect it has on your body. You breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold again for 4, creating an invisible box with every breath. Air flows in, air flows out, and with each cycle, your body recalibrates itself. Carbon dioxide, oxygen, heart rate, stress hormones all start to settle into a rhythm. Your body instinctively recognizes as calm. Do it right, and your blood pressure drops. Do it repeatedly, and your stress melts away. Visualize that box, feel the flow, and notice how your body starts cooperating with you rather than against you. The beauty here is that this isn't just temporary. It trains your body to respond differently to stress, to pressure, and to life itself. And the best part, all 3 techniques, the massage, the Valsalva maneuver, and box breathing, can be done within 5 minutes. Yet the impact can feel like hours of relaxation and balance. But here's the important part. These maneuvers are potent. Too much, too quickly, and your blood pressure could drop dangerously low. They are tools, not toys, and they are part of a larger puzzle that determines why your blood pressure might be high in the first place. Genetics, diet, stress, environment, they all play a role, and what works for one person may not work for another. So while these techniques can be life-changing, consulting a health professional before making them a routine is critical. And yet, even with that caution, imagine the freedom of being able to lower your blood pressure on demand, the power to intervene in moments of stress, the control over your own physiology in a way most people never experience. Now, if you think that's impressive, here's where it gets really interesting. Each of these techniques doesn't just lower blood pressure, they reveal hidden systems in your body that few people understand. Systems that operate quietly, intelligently, and relentlessly, keeping you alive without fanfare. And when you start tapping into them, you're not just lowering numbers on a cuff, you're engaging with the very architecture of life inside you. But the story doesn't end here. Because what happens when these techniques intersect with the way your body reacts under chronic stress, or when your blood pressure spikes unexpectedly during moments of intense anxiety, is something that can change the way you approach health forever. That's what we're diving into next. The truth is, our bodies are constantly negotiating with themselves in ways most of us never notice. And when stress hits, blood pressure doesn't just rise, it can spike in seconds, turning a normal day into a ticking time bomb. But here's the fascinating part. The same systems we just activated with carotid massage, the Valsalva maneuver, and box breathing don't just lower pressure temporarily, they teach your body how to respond more intelligently the next time tension strikes. Think of it like upgrading your body's internal software. Every time you practice, you're rewiring the circuits that control heart rate, artery flexibility, and even hormone release. And yet, most people never tap into this potential, relying only on medication or waiting until a crisis hits, never realizing that their body has built-in emergency brakes they can activate anytime. Let's zoom in on that first system again, the carotid sinus. When you gently massaged that spot on your neck, you weren't just relaxing. You were sending a signal to your brainstem that triggered a cascade of responses throughout your cardiovascular system. Your heart slowed, your vessels dilated, and your blood pressure dropped. But the real magic is how it interacts with your nervous system. Your body interprets this as a signal that it can afford to relax, which lowers stress hormones, calms your mind, and even reduces inflammation in your blood vessels. In other words, a tiny touch on your neck has effects that ripple through your entire body. And the kicker? This system works in real time. The moment you press, the moment you breathe, the moment you perform the Valsalva maneuver, your body responds immediately, like flipping a hidden switch you didn't know existed. The Valsalva maneuver, though seemingly strange, is equally fascinating when you consider its impact on blood flow. By holding that breath and creating internal pressure, you're essentially giving your heart and blood vessels a mini workout, forcing them to adapt in seconds. Blood is temporarily redirected, baroreceptors, those tiny pressure sensors, get a wake-up call, and your nervous system recalibrates. The feeling of relief, of that sudden lightness, is not just psychological, it's physiological. Your heart rate drops, your vessels relax, and your blood pressure can fall by double-digit numbers in moments. And while it's tempting to overdo it because it feels so good, the balance is crucial. Too much pressure, too long, and you could tip your body into the opposite danger zone. But when done correctly, it's one of the fastest, most controlled ways to regain calm and control over your own physiology. Now, box breathing takes this control even further, and it's deceptively simple. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, repeat. But this 4x4 rhythm is more than just counting seconds. It trains your body to optimize the delicate balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide, stabilizes your autonomic nervous system, and reduces the constant spike of stress hormones that keep blood pressure elevated. Navy SEALs use this in extreme conditions to maintain focus, yet anyone can harness it at home, in the office, or even during a stressful commute. Imagine having a tool in your pocket that not only calms your nerves, but actively lowers blood pressure, while enhancing focus and clarity. It's not just relaxation, it's performance under pressure, controlled at your own pace. But here's something that most people don't realize. Your body is constantly learning. Each time you use these techniques, you're sending feedback to your nervous system, telling it, this is safe, relax. Over time, your body begins to default to this calmer state more often, reducing the frequency and severity of high blood pressure spikes. That's why these methods aren't just emergency tools, they're training systems. They teach your heart, your vessels, your brain, and even your hormones to work together more efficiently. And the ripple effect doesn't stop there. Lowering blood pressure through these techniques can improve sleep, reduce anxiety, enhance cognitive performance, and even protect your organs from long-term damage. And yet, even with all this power at your fingertips, there's an important caveat. These techniques are incredibly effective precisely because they tap into potent physiological systems. Use them wisely. Don't repeat them excessively in a short span because you can lower your blood pressure too quickly, creating new problems instead of solving old ones. Also, while these methods are incredibly effective, they are not a replacement for medical advice. High blood pressure can be influenced by countless factors: diet, genetics, chronic stress, medications, and more so understanding your individual health context is crucial. But what you can control right now are the moments of stress, the moments of spike, and the moments where your body desperately needs relief. And this is where most people make the mistake of waiting for disaster instead of intervening proactively. So, what happens when you combine all three techniques? Imagine performing a carotid massage to trigger your body's natural reflexes, following it with a Valsalva maneuver to recalibrate your circulation, and finishing with a few minutes of box breathing to cement the calm. The effects aren't just additive, they're exponential. Your heart rate drops, your vessels relax, your mind clears, and for the first time in perhaps months or years, you feel the full control of your own physiology. But here's the cliffhanger. While these techniques lower blood pressure instantly, the next level, how to maintain these results long term, how to prevent spikes before they even start, and how to integrate this control into your daily life is where most people struggle. And that's exactly what we're going to uncover next. Diving into lifestyle strategies and physiological hacks that turn these short-term gains into permanent improvements